Everyone has their own techniques. Carpets differ, as do the recommendations of how much sand is used and what type. So this is a film showing just one way to lay a tennis court carpet. It is essential to wash your court first to remove all the detritus and loose stone from the surface. Infill all the holes and any dips in the surface with a resin sand mix, normally used by paving firms to joint their flags. It is a porous material, so rainwater goes through it. A single court has 4 rolls of carpet going to each end from the centre, making a total of 8 rolls. All have their pile going away from the tennis net centre of the court towards the baseline. So, to mark these carpet bays out, measure the centres of each curb side, going lengthwise, and hammer a 3-inch masonry nail at each centre point by that curb. Use a taut string line between each nail position and spray with an aerosol the middle of the court going across. The net post sockets should now be intersected in their centres if they have been laid correctly. Then do the same for the centres of the end curbs. Where the 2 lines intersect in the middle of the court, dig out the existing centre band ground anchor, if there was one, and replace it with a new one, and ensure it is at least 10 mm above the surface. Hammer another masonry nail in further down on either side of this centre line and at a distance of exactly 20 feet and 11 inches. This will be the centre of the 2-inch service lines. Do the same again at exactly 38 foot 11 inches for the centre of the 2-inch base lines. By the centred nail on the curbs behind the base lines, hammer a masonry nail on either side of the centre point at a distance of 13 foot 5 inches. This is the centre of the 2-inch singles line. Place another nail, 17 foot 11 inches, and this will be the centre for the 2-inch doubles line. This will form the obligatory 4 foot 6 distance between the outer edges of these lines. Blow off the court again. Any small bits of stone will show under the carpet. Remember the story about the princess and the pea? The carpet rolls come in a width of about 4.1 metres, and lengthwise they will reach from the tennis net centre of the court down to the curbs at the far end of the bay. The first roll is laid with one side slightly overlapping the centre line going down the length of the court, and the other side overlaps the singles line. Lay all the carpet rolls out. Any air pockets can be removed by lifting one end of the carpet and wafting it, as you would a bed sheet. Lay some bags of the kiln-dried sand as weights in the middle of these carpets. This stops them from moving as they can expand with the heat of the day. Place a string line down to the centre nails at the curbs behind the base lines. And both central carpets in each half of the court are cut and the excess removed. You should now have a perfect joint between the 4 rolls going down the centre of the court without any overlaps or gaps. Place the string line down the centre and also place one across to the service line nails. This gives you the exact distance to cut out for the 2-inch centre line. Using the 2-inch steel bars, lay them centrally, end to end, along the string line down the centre. Cut the carpet on either side of the 2-inch bars down to the service line string and remove the pieces from each carpet. Now check that your line tape not only will slot into place, but ensure the pile on it is also going down the court. Mix the glue with hardener and spread onto the carrier tape with just enough glue for the centre line only. Use either the special machine shown here or use a 6mm serrated float trowel. Make sure to leave the carrier tape short enough to allow the singles line carrier tape to run all the way across. You can work this out easily enough. Once all the lines have been placed into the carpet mat, apply the kiln-dried sand with a spreader, shovel or your hands. Then use a brush to spread the sand evenly all over the court. The carpet will initially look like a beach. This particular carpet supplier recommended 3.5 tons of kiln-dried sand for this singles court. With the tennis players playing on it, you will find that the sand will have been absorbed into the carpet mat fibres after about 2 weeks.